Hi everyone, it's Sarah from Northern Sydney Local Health District Research Office, and today I wanted to go through with you guys how to do a change in coordinating principal investigator here on REGIS. We know that REGIS has been designed so that the coordinating principal investigator is the only one with the rights to submit a new application or any amendments to an approved ethics application. So it's really important that if your coordinating is changing on the study, that it's done here on REGIS. So it's important to note that the HREC will only review a change in coordinating principal investigator. Any changes to an associate investigator or an administrative contact, somebody else within the research team need to be noted by the HREC. That will need to be noted by our governance officers here, and to do that is through the old way, as REGIS currently does not have the functionality to do any post-approval amendments for governance. And if you head to our NSLHD research website, we've got our change in personnel forms on there, and that will need to be completed and submitted in both hard and soft copies to the research office. Okay, so I'm going to get started. So we know this is our home page. I'm going to click into my project. Down here, it's important just to let you guys know that this is all fictional. This is a test environment where none of these projects are real. Okay, so we know that if we a change in personnel or a change in coordinating principal investigator is an amendment here on REGIS, and to get to our amendments, we need to click on these three dots here and go to project information. If you do not have three dots, these three little dots here beside the ethics application, it means that you only have viewing access the application, and the PI or CPI will need to share the application with you so that you have editing rights. I have done a webinar on that, which is on our website, our NSLHD website, under the REGIS tab. Okay, so let's go to project information. Okay, and I'm going to go down to forms here on the left-hand side. It's just loading. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a new form, and it will be a notification of an amendment to a research study. If you are experiencing significant delays, this is a test environment, so it is a little bit slower, but when you're in the live environment and you are experiencing these delays, please get in touch with F1 Solutions, give them a call, because it is something that they will need to note and to see if they can somehow speed up the process. And with our data migration, there have been instances where there's been a change in personnel for the coordinating principal investigator that may not have migrated across correctly. So if that does happen, please get in touch with our research office, and we can have a look and see what's happened with that one. So this is the forms homepage that we're on. So I am going to do my drop down here and go change in PI or CPI. Once I've done that, this little arrow here will pop up and I can go to the next page. So a type of investigator changing, so for me it's the CPI. This has got a PI here, and that's because I have 2 governance applications. You won't be able to change this PI unless it's been, those governance applications have been authorised. So that's just a little tip for you. So reasons for changing CPI or PI, look, this is where you would go into that detail. For this purpose only, I'm going to just put a dash here because it needs a character. And just to let you all know that any PI or CPI needs to have a email account within REGIS. So if they don't, you won't be able to do it, okay? You will need to wait until they have an account. So you can see that outgoing PI is me, Sarah Amos, and then my incoming CPI is Natanya Hunt. It's automatically auto-populated that. So for our office here at NSLHD, we require all CVs to be submitted for a change in coordinating principal investigator that is not employed by NSLHD or the University of Sydney. Okay, so if you've got a CPI that is employed by Sydney Local Health District or somebody somewhere out of state, we will need their CV, okay? And that's purely because that we already have the CVs of people employed by Northern Sydney Local Health District and Sydney Uni, okay? So for this, I'm not going to upload Natanya's CV because she is employed, okay? So is this incoming investigator employee of the site? I'll say yes. Okay. Is this new PI CPI undertaking research as a postgraduate student? So no. Here at Northern Sydney, you know, if this study was purely for a PhD or a medical degree, we would expect that the supervisor of that student would be the PI, just purely because they would have, then the supervisor is obviously not a student and has the experience to conduct this project for whatever kind of research it is and whatever type of health service it is, okay? So you can see that there's little red asterisks here. This requires requires explanation and something to be written in them. And you will be able to see that it is only requiring, it doesn't require a red asterisk here. So I'm not going to put the employee number. If you do, however, wish to, you can. I will put in a fictional role here, and it will drop down to, should be able to see. If I auto type. Northern Sydney Local Health District, there we go. And then I'm just going to put department. Okay, so if we go next, so there's, we need a declaration of conflict of interest. So there's certainly no conflict of interest here. I'll let you read all of that. It's very self-explanatory. And document upload. So this is where you would upload a CV if applicable, or not. Okay, when there's no document to upload, just do what I did and click in the little box there and remove it. Okay, and then you press the submit button. So once the submit button is complete, it will automatically be sent to, this request will be sent to the research office, who will table it at an executive committee meeting. We do have our meeting dates on our website. Our executive committee meet every 2 weeks. Okay, So if you have any further queries or need any clarification, please get in touch with the research office. But the take-home messages is that only a coordinating principal investigator can submit any amendments or new applications in REGIS, and any principal investigators that are not employed by the University of Sydney or Northern Sydney Local Health District, we require a CV to be uploaded. Okay, there are processes, and for any governance approvals or review of change in personnel, that will need to be done as per our old process, which is completing the change in personnel form on our research website page and submitting that in hard and soft copy to our research office here. Okay, thank you for listening, and get in touch if you need anything.